Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
Maybe not right away.
How you doing? How you doing? How you doing?
I want consistency, Joe. I want consistency.
Are you finding loopholes in the stay-at-home orders?
COVID-19 reaction we have here. We have no consistency, Joe. I want consistency. Now, yesterday, for no good reason, except it was a gorgeous day, and I just had to spread my wings a little, and I drove out to Delano, where the state baseball tournament was played last year, just to sit in the stands and take a peek at this
great
gorgeous ballpark.
that is. Yeah.
And the Delano Athletics, from a well-spaced way, we're practicing, playing. It just happened to be having that. But there is a drive-in there called the Peppermint Twist.
Oh, yeah.
They also have a Dairy Queen, but they have the Peppermint Twist drive-in.
Yeah.
Famous for its fresh raspberry malts.
Ooh. Oh, boy.
Which are fantastic.
Yeah.
I had a couple last year and brought a couple. I was going to bring one home to the bride.
Yep.
It's a normal-sized block, a little larger than most drive-ins, but I don't even know if there's an inside place. But
I don't think there is.
They got the speakers and the whole deal. The wait, when I pulled in there and I heard the woman next to me being told, it'll be an hour and 15 minutes before we have your food ready and your malt ready. Joe, it was chaos.
Really?
There were people across the street, waiting on this long, having a little impromptu picnics. It was chaos.
Oh, man.
There were 125 people around there.
Please tell me you didn't wait.
I was going to say, please tell me you waited.
No, I did not wait. I did not wait. But I laughed. I chuckled at the at the stay-at-home eating. And so then I saw the Dairy Queen there. And they didn't have they don't have a window. It's just a drive window. I'd say there weren't more than 25 cars in line to get a malt there. People, we need some consistency. We cannot. I've talked about it, but we cannot say, a guy with a little clothing store in Delano can't sell you a pair of pants. We can't do that anymore. We have
What's the rationale on these drive-ins being open then? I suppose you can't go inside?
It's food. Yeah, you can't go inside, but in this case, I don't think there is an inside place. It's just food, and I'm all for it. Yeah, God love them.
And if Rook did ads for the Peppermint Twist, what he would say? They bring the food out to you.
They'll bring it out to you. You consume it. They bring it outside to you.
They do. They were bringing it outside if you wanted to wait an hour and 15 minutes to get that.
Who in God's name would wait an hour and 15 minutes for one of those things?
I don't know, but the four people crowded into their sedan next to me said they said it'll be an hour and 15 minutes, and they said, that's okay.
I know who.
That's okay.
I know who. It's the dad that was by himself picking up food for the family. I'll wait 3 hours.
Yeah, honey,
I'll just sit right here.
She doesn't believe him. She has to call her to verify that.
I am now in trouble with my lefty buddies because I have taken the stance that the wall's screwed up.
You reached like I reached the bleep it day last week.
Yeah, my point is take precautions, but there's no sense in having these incredible inconsistencies that Menards can have 300 people in it, and the guy with a private business next door can't. You know, it just, to me, it's just stupid. It's I don't know. The big problem is bars and restaurants. What do you do with them? I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can open those up in this situation. But retail places, it's absurd that the Target can sell you pants and my place can't. It's idiotic.
Well, but I wonder if it's worse than that. Are there dressing rooms in Target, Rook?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
they've got
imagine
fitting rooms.
that. What if you try on a pair of pants and you don't like them, so they go back on the shelf?
Right. That defeats the whole purpose.
Yes, right. It does. Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Didn't I read that Costco? You got to have the mask now.
In fact,
Yes.
we talked about this earlier on GL. I saw Johnny Height had posted something on his Facebook page, and people are going nuts about being made or requiring them to wear a mask. And John's point was, just don't go there then if that's
right.
If that's your hot button, just don't go.
Yes. Joe, by the way, remember 100 years ago when you waved to the CARE cameras?
Yes.
Yeah, when you were out there at the boat show, and
Right.
they said, and that was the big thing when
CARE 11,
CARE 11 was first starting, and they were going to take care of the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
And, dorks were waving to them happily, the happy Minnesotans, and
Yeah.
they got Joe at the boat show, and he was humiliated. There was a bit on that when I screamed bloody murder when Joe reveals that. Well, through domestic strong-arming, I wore a mask this week.
Really?
Really?
At Bachman's. She made
Really?
me wear it in the Bachman's because everybody we saw walking in there buying plants and stuff, and I had to carry some of them out. And it was, at some point, it became, it reached that point where it wasn't worth the anger, the phony anger she was going to be able to build up. So I just wore the mask. Very
You could have done.
uncomfortable.
You could have done what there's a grocery store worker in Kentucky that's made all the news sites. You could have done what she did. She just cut a hole in the mouth because she said then it was easier for her to breathe.
And wasn't the caption above it, Joe, didn't it say something like, we're all going to die?
Yeah.
Cut a hole
Yeah, there's a strip right in the front. Like, what are you doing?
A lady of my acquaintance that is working the counter at a Hy-Vee store, working up there, and they got the whole thing, the glass and the whole thing. And some woman, as she was checking her out, managed to sneeze hard enough to get the stuff all the way through the window, felt it on the face, and she said, "Are you kidding me?" to the woman, and she said, "Oh, it's just hay fever. Don't worry about it."
Okay, thank
Perfect
you.
health.
Yeah.
Perfect health.
Perfect health.
Perfect health.
Woo! No attempt to cover it up. Just boom. But here's the deal: if those people can't be trusted in a store that is considered essential, why would they be? Why not let everybody go? Why are their description of non-essential drives me nuts.
Well, and if you feel sick somewhere, you shouldn't go in. That's how you solve it. I'm sick. I got to stay home. Boom. That's how you solve it. Even if you're an essential employee.
You're starting to get the dirty look if you're not masked, though.
Yeah, I've been.
Yeah, you're getting a little bit dirty look if you're not masked. What?
Pat, we're about the same age. You remember the Hong Kong flu in 1968 and 69?
Barely.
Okay, I don't at all.
I remember the term. I don't remember what it.
1 million people died worldwide. 100,000 people in this country.
Really?
Nothing ever shut down. Apparently, this COVID must be worse. But I'm trying to remember it. I don't remember it. I don't remember anything about it.
I remember the term, but I don't. We didn't. That wasn't the only thing you read about or heard about. Certainly,
What
that
is
was
it,
for
the
sure.
H3N2 virus? That's what it was called?
Something like that.
Yeah.
There's some There's some germs out there that don't like us. That's for sure. They don't want to. They want this. They want the planet to belong to them. They don't want us.
Earth is. Yeah, you see, you're coming around to my way of thinking
Earth-
more and more.
Earth
is trying to kill you.
Yeah, Earth is trying to get rid of us.
Now they got giant hornets coming to town.
Yes, that's true. Well, we heard about them today. They're murder hornets, right?
Murder hornets. They're the size of cars.
Yeah.
But listen to this. This is how great nature is and how wonderful it is. One of those Japanese hornets went into a what do you call it? The beehive. Okay,
Yeah.
bees are making honey. One bee was the sacrificial lamb, and then the rest of the bees jumped on this hornet, and a big, huge pile of them, and they heated up to over 110 degrees, and basically it fries the Japanese hornet.
How do
I'll be
you
damned.
find this out?
I was watching a show on Sunday morning, Gabe and I were, because I said, wait, just before you turn it off, let's see what these Japanese hornets do. But the honeybees have a 2-degree tolerance higher, so they don't die.
So we got the COVID sent to us by the Chinese, and
Yep.
we got the hornet sent to us by Japan.
Somebody made a mistake and brought them over to France, and now they're
And
coming
who
over
gave
here.
us the snakes down, the pythons? Where they come from good old American ingenuity too.
Yes.
Yeah, let's turn them loose.
They started as pets.
Yeah, I don't like this one anymore. I think I'll throw them out there.
Yeah, in the woods.
And by the way, when they get inseminated or whatever they do, they only have like 50 eggs, so you're in
Right.
good shape. Yeah, right.
Yeah. You got any Don Shula memories?
Oh, did he die?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
passed
I
away
didn't
this
know
morning.
that.
90.
90 years old.
Wow, I was boy, where have I been all day? I was
You've been
Yeah,
driving.
peppermint twist.
I was down there for one of his great defeats, Joe. He had a really good team in the Seattle Seahawks, which were only in about their second year. And Jim Zorn was their quarterback, who later ended up coaching, I think, for the Gophers here, and as an assistant coach. And Seattle went down there and beat them on a Saturday afternoon, and it was. Don did not take it well. Don was a little grumpy after that one, as I recall, because Don won his Super Bowls, those two in a row, and then he won one with Baltimore, and then he won 2 in a row with the Dolphins. I don't think he won another one.
Did he coach anyone after Dolphins?
No. He's of course got these string of steakhouses down there, which I think are kind of flamed out a while back. Although there's still some of them around there, but
Yeah.
very expensive, mediocre steakhouses, and I've been eating in 1 or 2 of them. But
What was the name
he
of it?
was a
Don Schuler's.
Clever.
who really didn't like him,
Bud?
Harry Peter Bud Grant.
Really?
Because he had so much influence with the NFL. I think he was like the chairman of the rules committee for a while, and he was on the rules committee forever.
Wow.
Shula. And Bud did not think that was terribly fair, that the referees who he had the rules committee influence over would be refereeing his games. Bud didn't think much of that. But I didn't have a lot of experience with him. I never found him to be a charming fellow. So.
Yeah, I don't recall any experiences, although I had to cover games that he was involved in.
Yeah,
But I don't recall
but,
great memories.
90, huh? Wow. Yeah. Well, he's the virus didn't get him though. Just being 90 got him, huh?
I think the virus didn't have anything to do with it as far as I read. I don't know.
You know what you're finding out in the no sports virus? How many guys die between 85 and 95 who were in sports, and now it's a big story. Now,
Right.
Shula would be a big story
Right.
anyway, but now it's an absolute. I just looked over, and behind Rook, there's a great headline. Trump swipes at Bush for calling for unity amid pandemic.
Yeah. How dare you call for
What
unity?
the hell is wrong with him?
Damn, I think he's going crazy.
How can his hole keep getting deeper? Isn't he at the bottom? It keeps getting deeper.
And what was funny, President Bush put out this really nice. I thought it was a
Yeah.
really cool tribute. Hey, let's get together here.
Right.
And he ripped him. He ripped him for that.
The tweet, though, because there's going to be those that are going to email. So to clarify, the tweet didn't rip him. I mean, what it did was say, well, where was he when, for the help me, when the Dems were going after him? That's basically what he said on Twitter, President Trump.
Okay.
So he doesn't now that.
Well, here,
so he
I
wants
have it
him to
right
fire
here.
back.
Where did it go?
I think it's a noble comment from George, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think that ship has sailed.
Yeah,
I
here it
found
is.
that out.
Here it is. From the president. Oh, by the way, I appreciate the message from former President Bush, but where was he during the impeachment calling for putting partisanship aside? He was nowhere to be found in speaking up against the greatest hoax in American history.
Okay.
That's the actual tweet.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
Is the Trumper going back out on the road? Is he going to have a rally in Charlotte?
well,
Maybe not.
Well, we heard
I
from
don't
our
know.
president earlier that he was going to go there because Charlotte has the Hornets, the basketball team there. So I don't know if he's going to
we're
be able
going
to
to
go.
have to play that a little later. But the libs, I've seen from some of the libs. Hope that there's big Trump rallies that all the Trump fans all get together and none of them wear masks and have a good time, giving each other the virus basically. was
Passing
the
it on via
indication,
handshakes.
passing it on. So, you know what though? I was talking to some baseball guys out there, and I know that when we do get the vaccine, there's going to be a pecking order, right?
Yep.
We decided that number one should be catchers. Should get the vaccines first.
Okay.
And then catchers, and then after that we could have vulnerable older people, and then we could have
Catchers first.
Why catchers?
Because then you can get the game going here. Everybody's
Oh.
worried about the catchers, have people spitting on them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get them 6 feet away from the hitters, and then the ump. They got the big fat ump leaning over them, breathing on them. We need to make sure our catchers are vaccinated. That's,
Wait a minute. What if the pandemic ends up resulting in robot umpires?
It could.
See?
It could. Yeah, Manfred would love to do something like that. It could. And then the ump would have to stand 6 feet back and read what the computer said to him. So by the way, do you buy the magic of 6 feet?
No.
Yes, I do.
I'm a
6 feet.
15-footer.
Yep.
I'm a 15-footer.
15 footer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But why 6 feet?
Well, because if you talk and you emit saliva, then there's a better chance that I'm not going to get it if I'm 6+ feet away.
Yeah,
What
but
if you're
mine's
5.5
even
feet?
better. If I'm 15 feet, I'm better off than a sixer.
What if you're 5.5 feet? Is that okay?
Well, I
No,
don't know.
no, you're closing in on it.
Once
That'd be
again,
6.
when I had my mask
You know,
review,
yeah.
and I had the Billy Bobbers
Yeah.
with the bad skid marks, you put that on your head, they're 20 feet away. They will not come by.
You know what 5.5 feet is? It's the long two of the virus. In basketball, we no longer like the long two.
Yeah.
You got to go to the 3. You got to get behind the line. There's no sense in being 5.5 feet. The long 2. You want to go shoot the 3, right?
Yes.
So that's it. Okay, it's the long.
Because Rookie
2.
was always offended by the traveling, or the long two in basketball.
Yeah,
the
that
long
drove
two.
me crazy. I hate it. Still,
Well, along these lines, the talk of baseball and hockey trying to do something, why did they do it then? What are they waiting for?
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you.
Let's go.
These people that are playing the games and out there breathing and brushing onto each other are not going to die. They're we will have one death in American sports if
take
we
a
allow
vote.
them to play. Let's take a vote. But they got to stay away from me, right?
Yeah.
Grandma, if in case they got we don't even know if they can pass it on, for God's sakes. If kids going to school could pass it on to grandma.
But what does baseball base its decision on? Why are things going to be better on June
Because
10th?
they're nuts. If somebody gets, I think you do what you do.
No,
You
here's
play
what they're
ball,
worried
and
about.
Somebody might get sick.
They're worried about litigation. That's what they're worried about. If someone were to contract it and die, they're worried about getting sued.
Well, then you should make them all sign a waiver.
You're talking about the players might sue or a fan?
Anyone. I think that they're terrified of litigation. That's what I think. And I'm talking about all sport. I mean,
I could get, you know what? If this goes on much longer, somebody sues them, they can just give them the franchise. Here, go ahead. You can have this. You could have this money losing, you know.
Yeah, what did I read? $12 billion across all sports they've lost so far?
Oh, God. Yeah. It's,
I just don't get what they're waiting for.
No, I don't either. I happened to be over at Augsburg today talking to the new football coach. Out in the park, by the way. Interviewed him out in the park across the street from Augsburg. And the wrestling, the guy who started the wrestling dynasty there, Jeff Swenson, who's now the athletic director, came by. And, you know, it's going to be hard to have wrestling with social distancing.
I would think so.
We agreed on that. So you pretty much... You know, if you want to wrestle, you got to take your chances, right?
It's just that walk around the ring 6 feet away when they're in the circle where they're like, okay, make your first move, let's go. They're long matches.
It would be. It'd be terrible. Yeah, I don't know. We
Pat,
got to take our shot, you know.
On GL today, we discovered that you can now go to church again in Kansas City.
Really?
But you have to sign in. You have to record your presence.
Why?
Because that way they say they can contact you in the event that someone else in church gets sick.
I see. Okay.
Well, I'm not. They're not getting my signature.
Well,
they're not getting it. They're not getting it.
Well, and are we going to limit the numbers, or what are we going to do?
Yeah, 10.
The only trouble with church is, especially the Holy Roman Church, the age. You know, like the church in Fort Myers that I drive by.
Yeah.
And there's not too many people walking in who aren't in the vulnerable age group.
Right.
So,
right.
You know, do we have one mass for healthy people and then another mass for us old timers?
The early mass, like the shopping places do.
Yes.
The early mass for the at-risk people, which you don't want to go to.
No, you want that to be the afternoon, the late afternoon
late
one,
okay.
so before we can infect everybody.
Are the sports teams taking their cues from governors? In other words,
No,
would
well,
baseball dare open before May 18th, which is Walz's new deadline?
No, I think they're taking it from the feds. You know, I think probably.
That Trump would have you playing.
But here's their problem: you're going to have some state, Texas, going to say, "Go ahead and play ball," but Minnesota's going to say, "No, you can't play ball." Yeah, so you know, I think one thing they're waiting for is everybody to be on the same page. What ain't going to happen. So I don't know what they're waiting for. I say you just play and see what happens.
But I'm betting my money that Roger's going to have the old NFL operating on time.
Yep.
Because he ain't losing a dime.
No, and he'll enjoy those 60 ratings for a regular season game. Okay, I heard a good one for you today.
All right.
High school plan, a really weird one. They have the spring sports in the fall.
Yeah.
Tennis, golf,
Baseball.
track and field, baseball, softball, where there is not a lot of contact. And they have the fall sports in the spring.
Okay.
Football in the spring and
that's even workable.
volleyball and other stuff like that. This is something the State High School League, if this thing doesn't get straightened out, has. Some people involved in the State High School League have discussed this, apparently, as an option.
Well, it makes sense because you can play baseball. The weather's perfect at the start of the school year, whereas in early spring, it's always hit and miss.
Of course, what doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense if she's going to come roaring back in December worse than it is now. Right. And if you didn't die this time, you will next time. As long as that's the message that we're getting. And by the way, while I'm at it, this Malcolm, what an empty suit. Malcolm.
Who's Malcolm?
The gal. Isn't it
Yeah.
Malcolm? What's it? The gal.
Jan Malcolm?
That Timmy boy's always got on his right hand. And she gets up and starts giving us world statistics. We don't care. You work in Minnesota, Jan, right? Jan?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think
Jan, public health person, not a doctor, by the way. She's a public health person. and she gets it up there. Yeah, well, she's really springing up in Uganda. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's not your task. Your task is to explain to us why I can't go buy a pair of pants at Foursomes. That's your task.
So you're suggesting that a member of the government may have had a bit of overreach. Is that what you're trying to suggest?
This is her Super Bowl, baby. She's
Pat, you are so coming around to GL. It's amazing.
Only on this, though.
Only on this. All right.
I'm a big immigration guy.
Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something, by the way.
Who do you think's dying in all those slaughterhouses?
Yeah.
It ain't Bill from Pequot Lakes, I'll tell you.
See, I have a little kind of a sadness.
Yes.
You got into a long tweeting string yesterday about
Yes.
Dark Star, and you had some funny lines. It was you told the story about when I asked him, "What's your show about?" And he said, "It's about whatever I can do for me."
What can the next 3 hours do for me, Dark Star?
And then you said he's your hands down your favorite person. And I just felt a little twinge there.
Whoa.
Rook,
I
what
said,
about you?
After the tweets, I said, I have just realized that Dark Star is my all-time favorite person.
I felt a little
I
hurt.
thought I was up there. I
I
didn't
did
know
too.
that.
I did too, Rook.
Then Chad Courier from Mankato thought that it should be him, and I said he was fourth. But I wouldn't identify 2 and 3 because
you.
I don't want to hurt feelings.
Right.
Am I number two?
But before
think so.
I sent that tweet out, I started thinking, if it comes down to Dark and Joe,
Yeah.
Ooh.
it's who would I rather spend 3 days with going to San Diego to go to Del Mar and La Costa and Tijuana.
You'll lose every time, Joe. You'll lose every time.
Who else could call up? And is Joe going to call me up in the middle of June and say, "Hey, we got to go to the Eddie Reed on August 3rd at Del Mar," and so we go out and we play golf every day at La Costa. We go to Del Mar every day, and then twice we go to Tijuana to watch highlight. Would you go to Tijuana to watch highlight with me?
No.
I have an announcement.
I lose.
Dark Star is my number one right now as well, Joe. We're long gone.
Yeah.
A lot of people go to highlight. I mean, a lot of people go to highlight for, various
Different
shows
reasons,
of, drugs and stuff. Dark Star's idea of a trip to highlight, of Tijuana was highlight and eating at the taquito stand in the highlight place.
I'm a double no now.
Yeah.
In fact, I think what put Dark over the edge with Pat instead of you, Joe, was simply this.
White people, your thoughts.
What? I didn't hear
That
that.
was this great question to Trent Tucker. Trent Tucker, our guest today, Trent Tucker. Hey, Dark, how you doing? White people, your thoughts. And you know what? That's the only thing, as you always said, he had 3 hours to do, and when the light went on, he had no idea what he was going to say next.
No, nothing.
Nothing. He had no idea
Another
what he
day
was
where we're
say.
going to wing it.
What can the next 3 hours do for me?
And it was driving
Dark
me
Star.
nuts, so I finally confronted him. I said, "Do you have a point for this? What the hell's your
theory?
theme?
What's your? I think I screwed it up. I think your actual question was, what is your thought as the show starts? And my thought is, what can the next 3 hours do for me? Dark Star, 100% honest.
That is honest.
Yes,
That's terribly honest.
Did he ever make that into a State Fair shirt?
I don't know. Did he have?
I have no idea. No, I doubt it. That would have required too much energy.
He had those Legend T-shirts. I can't remember. Legend of the sometime. Legend of something. But you know what?
But when
Did you see the one woman who said, "My mom came up to him in a parking lot at the grocery store and told him how much she loved his show," and she introduced herself and he says, "Mary, I don't give a bleep." And, you know,
Gosh.
it was funny, but, a 60-year-old woman probably didn't get the joke,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But when he would just let guys go, Rick from Springfield, you're on, and it would be 12 minutes, of listening
right.
to him. Oh, that was so great.
Well, somebody had a great one, though, that is some woman, Joan from Blaine. And he says, Joan, are you Lutheran? She says, well, yes, I am. He said, Bill from, he just signed up. Bill from New Hope. He had no show prep, was never heard of.
Are you Lutheran?
I told you the greatest. I was listening to his midnight show one night, and he had the Republican candidate from San Francisco for mayor on, and Dark was a hardcore Republican, but not that sincere.
Not a practicing one.
Not a practicing one, but and Frank, somebody, I can't remember what his name was. And Dark's asking him what kind of chance he thinks he has. And he says, well, Dark, the election was 2 days ago, and I got my ass. He said, well, I knew that.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
It's unbelievable. But as I said, nobody worked harder to wriggle his way in to a radio show and then spent more time trying not to go to work that day than he did.
It is amazing.
Oh, he was hysterical. But it all started when I had this thought. Nobody would have loved Shelter in Place more than Dark. He'd be sitting on their couch, 80-inch TV in front of him, and he'd have everything being delivered to him, including his cigarettes.
Yep.
And by the way, somewhere in my basement, I tried to find it yesterday, I couldn't. I have the one souvenir I got from him was his certificate from the American Lung Association for the sincere work he did in their campaign to eliminate smoking.
Come on.
Which he was a two-packer. But he had the certificate.
What, didn't he know the name of the pizza guy? Or
Oh,
whoever
yeah,
did-
I was sitting there with him one of the last times.
Richie,
I was with
wasn't
him.
it Richie?
Yeah, Richie. Hey, Richie. Hey, yeah, the pizza guy delivers pizza. Hey, Richie, grab a couple of beers out of the refrigerator.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, God almighty.
June 1st of 2012 was when we lost him.
I should probably
That
not.
was 8
What
years
years ago? 8 years ago.
It'll be 8 years this June 1st.
I shouldn't let this go, but I shouldn't probably say this, but what the heck. At his service, the memorial party, basically, I was talking to his financial advisor, who basically said, Darky died just in the nick of time. There wasn't a lot of mom's inheritance left. He was going through it like a drunken sailor, Unbelievable. Yeah, he was a different individual.
You need a roof?
Oh, God. It's the
We
strangest
invented
thing.
him. Honest to God, nobody would ever heard of him. If it wasn't for Monday Night Sports Talk, nobody would ever heard of him.
No.
Because that got him in at the track, which then got him in at the best part of that is he would just start calling Steve Cannon in the afternoon with the racing results, whether Steve wanted him or not. He just, but Cannon was killing time, so he put him on the air.
That roof cost me a lot of money, though.
Did it?
Well, he said I got a deal, but how did I know?
Yeah, right. Well, you're like me.
Yeah.
I didn't wait for the hail. I got a new one last fall. At some point, you can't wait for the hail anymore.
No.
You got to get a.
I'm going to wait for the murder hornets to take down
Murder
mine.
hornets.
Yeah, then I'm going to.
Now, where are they? Where's their last report?
I think they're coming up from Florida.
Well,
They come up from the river.
I wonder if a flock of murder hornets could kill a python.
Yeah.
Joe, that beautiful little condo I have in Fort Myers,
Yep.
I'm going to have to burn it for the insurance money.
No, you can't make that public.
We'll edit that out, okay?
Yeah.
Coming out.
Really can't be that bold about
you know,
it.
I can get a couple of guys that dress up like terrorists and bomb it.
I
maybe.
remember a couple of years back when we were doing show prep for the ride, and there was a report of a hurricane. And Pat said,
yes.
"Come on, baby!
Yeah.
I don't
Only
want
guy I know is rooting for a hurricane.
No.
I don't want anyone to
When the
die."
hurricane was coming right up I was on the air that Saturday.
Is that what it
when I was saying with Judd, I was saying, call right now, half price. You know, and then the thing got to Naples and took a turn, and it didn't hit Fort Myers
Half
that bad.
price.
Which one was that? The huge one? Maria? Was it Maria?
Might have been.
Great big one. Yeah.
I'm still trying to find out where our Japanese Beatles are.
Do you have hurricane shutters, Pat?
Yes, I do. Yep.
You put them on yourself?
No.
Okay.
I got hurricane windows. You couldn't get through those windows if you wanted to. I got the hurricane windows.
What are they? The triple pane?
Yeah. Got very fine windows.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we put it for sale, we're saying, you got good windows. Come on.
Got great windows. You can see through them.
JL Cobb would say they're the best.
Yeah.
They're the best windows.
I
Not a lot of people know that.
think this one was his best.
No,
today.
nothing's going to top the Easter one.
Yeah.
Where the
Great Friday.
yeah.
I do like the fact that he had Netanyahu getting together with Moses to help him out to fight off the bad people. That is,
Well, the Trumper has a little trouble with history.
yeah, I tell you, we got to have a couple of debates, though. We might not have many debates, but Joe's mindless babbling, and boy, this would be something.
Won't that be theater? Oh, man.
People are going to go back 25 years and say, 25 years from now, if there's a planet, and say,
There's a planet.
these are the two nominees that they have.
Yeah.
These are the two guys.
Oh, my Cardinal just made its daily appearance.
Look at that.
Yeah,
I love that Cardinal.
Oh man, we got some good ones in the backyard.
Yeah.
I do think that to be fair and balanced, and then I'm not going to expand on this because I don't want to. But to be fair and balanced, I think the news media is doing a favor to the Me Too movement and the Joe Biden situation by running the youthful photos of the accuser.
Yeah. She is. She's not the same looking gal, is she?
No. That's what I was getting to.
Yeah.
You throw that one. You throw today out there and you say, huh? But
Yeah.
she was a pretty good looking gal back in her day.
Oh,
And,
in the day,
you know,
sure. Paul, that's getting to be 25 years ago.
Yeah, at least. When did he grab her? 93? 93.
I don't know.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yes.
Grabbed her. He's a nuzzler.
Yeah. Well, it is astounding to me that virtually you could have just dropped lots over the country and had whoever gets the right number can run for president against Trump, and probably would win, but they managed to find poor old Joe.
Joe Biden.
It's pretty amazing.
When will the Democrats remove him as their candidate?
I don't think this.
I'm
thing,
seeing a smoke-filled room someplace.
I don't think this thing.
And luring Governor Cuomo to take his place.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think this one is gonna ruin him though. I don't. But
I'm still available.
Yes, you are.
yes, you are. What are you up to? I wonder where you are. I wonder
I'm on
where
the
the
grid.
former governor is with all this coming on.
He has been really quiet, hasn't
I
he?
tell you where he'll be when the vaccine line starts.
First.
Yep.
That 84-year-old grandma there with the cane, he'll
On
push
the
her.
way.
Give me that syringe.
Him and Sid would be second. She'll be second.
Well, does he still drink the pig's eye? Wasn't it the pig's eye? Were you helped him?
That
Pig's
was
eye.
that was Pig's Eye.
He wouldn't give him a case.
Rook,
of
if you ask them, maybe they'll give you
Yeah,
some.
if you just ask them. I'm sure they're going to give you a case.
Hey, Rock, what's
hang
the
on a
word on the Schmidt Brewery thing down there? They're not open, I suppose, huh? That baby's closed tight.
Well, Keg and Case, let me look here because they're all, it's not dine in. You can dine in at In Bloom, So I'm sure they're not open, but I'm gonna.
Well, they have to be doing like takeout and whatnot.
Yeah, but
aren't
that's
they?
what I'm saying. But some of them have like the big wall up that you can't get through the door, and then others are you just wander in and stand in line
Joe,
like
are
you
you
always
are you
did.
cleaning your desk right now?
I'm out organizing some stuff here.
So they're
Hey,
open.
this man's got lots of stuff to do today. Are you going to go hit some balls?
No, I got to go to Countryside. When I turned my car in, when the lease expired, I forgot all the stuff that was in the center console.
Oh no, well, you got to go.
You got a
That's
fun
good.
day ahead of you.
Congratulations, you got something to do.
Oh, I have a project.
I love to do. The guy I called up, Darren Lamker, the Augsburg coach, he said, "Well, we're over here in the park, but we can do it on the phone." I said, "No, you stay right there. Give me a chance. I got any excuse I can get. I gotta get. I gotta get on." Boy, was it a gorgeous weekend, though.
Wasn't it wonderful?
Wasn't it? Wow, man.
I played a lot of social distance golf.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Do you like the new rules too? It moves faster, right?
Yeah, it's just fine with me. Although I will say this: the cup is only down about an inch.
So the ball will pop back up.
I swear I missed some putts because the ball just wouldn't go down. It wouldn't go down.
You know what I think they become, Joe?
Huh.
Gimmies.
Oh, I think
that
so.
one was in. That
Yeah.
one was good. It's not
Yeah.
my fault. It's got an inch deep
Not
cup.
my fault about this virus.
No, because no. I think those are good.
Little
I do
Judge
too.
Smale's foot swipe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the great James Brown, Dark and I's caddy out at La Costa when we played.
Yeah.
If it was online from 6 feet, it was good, man. I mean, if it came up 6 feet, that was good.
He was on vacation.
And his good wasn't the 6-footer's good. His good was you made the putt. It was online. It just didn't go far enough. Right. You know, you can shoot good scores with James.
Oh, God. I wish I was on that trip, except I would have skipped the Tijuana part.
Oh, the racetrack was, Del Mar's a beautiful racetrack.
That is a gorgeous racetrack.
Yes, it is.
Where is it? I can't picture where
It's
it
Right
is.
on the water, right?
Yep.
The Highway 1 comes by, and it's right, and then it's right on the other side, and you can see the water when you're in the seats.
But
I'll be damned.
are they? Because how
Perfect
many
hill.
horses did they lose? Weren't they the ones that lost a bunch of horses this last year?
No, Santa Anita.
That's okay.
They were dying left and right at
Okay.
Santa Anita.
That's what it was.
Yeah. But of course, they could reach. They could be like cows and pigs and stuff. They just get killed.
Right.
You know? So what? Horse dies. It's supposed to be a dramatic thing.
I got to go.
All righty.
We got
He's got a 3:00 appointment at Schmelz. You can't be late for that one.
Definitely have a 3 o'clock.
See you later.
See you, brah.